This is the Original Firefighter Podcast, where we talk about anything you would talk about at the firehouse kitchen table. And sometimes we even talk about fighting fires. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Let's get into the show. And welcome to the year-end edition of Original Firefighter, and we're getting to the end and closing of 2025 here, and we just want to have a great conversation with you today. We're going to just talk about the year of 2025, look back at the last 12 months, and also do a moment of also looking to the future, right? Because that's always a great thing. Look back at where we came from, but always keep our eyes focused on the forward face of where we want to go in our lives. And so we really just want to get into that today with all of our listeners and viewers. We just also want to say thank you to everybody out there that subscribed to our YouTube channel. We want to keep that going. We want to obviously gain more and more followers in 2026. So please interact with us, leave us a message, drop us a line on any of our socials or here on YouTube. And also, you can always send us an email at info@originalfirefighter.com. You can also go to originalfirefighter.com, check out our sweet merchandise, and they make great gifts now and in the new year. So we have with us is my partner, Aaron Bybee, and we are excited about talking about the year that was 2025.
That's
How you doing,
right.
man?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I think we're
Merry
dropping
Christmas.
this maybe Christmas Eve, but close enough.
Yeah,
Merry
for
Christmas.
sure. So, how good did it feel to get 1,000 subscribers to our channel?
Oh my gosh. So when we hit 1,000, I was actually sitting in a theater. My son was in a performance, and so I couldn't yell, but everything inside me was like screaming.
Right.
We
Right.
hit 1,000. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I really appreciate everybody that jumped on yesterday to push us over the hump. I mean, the goal was to hit 1,000 by the end of the year, and here we are.
Yeah.
We did
Yeah.
it.
No,
We did it, everybody.
We did it, but we're not done. We're certainly not even done. We're not
We're
even
just
close
getting
to being
started.
done. We're just getting started, and we do want to make that clear. Like, we know that there's tons of channels that you get to choose from, and you make decisions about how you spend your time, what you invest your energy into, and 1,000 subscribers. We're not going to scoff at that at all, because that was our goal, was just to get there and then keep on moving, right? So we know that there's tons of other channels and things that are out there where there's lots and lots more followers, but you got to start somewhere. And I think that's what we would like to say to everybody is, when you make a goal and you just keep pushing that ball. Sometimes it's going to kind of roll back at you. It might feel like you're really stressing and you're not getting anywhere, but persevere. I mean, you have to constantly be consistent and persevere. And I think I'm really just understanding what the word grit is all about. Especially when if you're a small business. I don't think I've ever met anybody in my friend circle that hasn't thought about starting up a business, and it can be scary. You really put yourself out there. So many things start, and then they just never. Like you start something and then you just kind of drop it, and you don't get anywhere. Right? Happens all the time. But here at Original Firefighter, with the help of my business partners, Aaron and Rob, who's been on the show before, we want to always remember that we've had so many great guests and co-hosts on the show so far. So there will be more coming in 2026. But we're just going to have a great conversation today about what 2025 looked like for not just us here at Original Firefighter, but across the country. It's been a little bit of a crazy ride.
It's been wild.
It's been wild. What I did is I took a look I used both ChatGPT and Perplexity, and I asked ChatGPT, what were the top 25 the top stories of 2025. And so it'll be kind of interesting to kind of dig into a couple of those, see what you think about some of these, Aaron, and then what your thoughts are too. What comes to mind when you think of like some of the most exciting moments of 2025 so far?
I mean, we've had a lot going on. It's
Sure.
not been exciting necessarily in a positive way. There's been a lot of
I didn't want to go negative right away,
I know.
I
So
just don't want to have to do that right
I'll
away.
hold-
We'll
I'll
get
hold
there, I think
back,
so.
But those are the things that honestly come to the forefront of my mind. Are a lot of the conflicts that are happening around the world, a lot of the financial things going on. Aviation is a big part of
Yeah, for sure, right?
the
I was
craziness
going to bring
that's
that
happened
up.
around the year,
Yeah.
or this year. So yeah, I don't know. As far as positive things, Packers beat the Bears.
Yes, they did.
Now, by the time this airs, that might not be true anymore because we're kind of in between games. But yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
because they play this Sunday, do they not?
Today. They play today, Saturday.
Oh, they're on today.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, man, I feel like, so the Packers beat the Bears. Obviously, Bears are going to look for revenge, but man, they're both playing really, really well. So let's just stick with NFL for a minute. I mean, it has been a pretty interesting year for the league. I think that it is interesting when you look at how tight things are, especially in the NFC West, which is I'm a Niners fan. And right now, the Niners have got the entire, their destiny for this year is in their hands with the Seattle Seahawks beating LA, which was an incredible game, an absolute incredible game. And to have Seattle pull it off and win by 1 point kind of just definitely was insult to injury to the LA Rams, but I was not sad about that. And so I'm hoping for the Niners to kick some butt and clean up. But look at all the injuries that team has had. So that's why I'm excited about what's going on with the Niners anyways.
There's been a lot of injuries around the league as a whole this year. I know there always are every year, but it does seem like the last 3 or 4 years that it's been ramping up.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just, they're obviously trying to change rules to address that issue, but it also seems like just as a whole, players are pushing themselves harder and harder and harder, and that fatigue sets in usually, last quarter of the season.
Sure.
And guys just start dropping from stuff that maybe in the past they wouldn't have. Yeah. But it's exciting.
I'm sure that you don't have to walk too far to think about the fact that Patrick Mahomes has suffered a serious injury, and they were already having a very rough year and struggling, and then to have him get hurt the way that he now he's tore his ACL and I think another ACL MCL I think it is, and so he's looking to be out for I think 9 or 10 months, and he won't even start the first part of the season in 2026.
Yeah. Same with Parsons. And that's not I don't take out with an ACL too.
Right. And I don't particularly want anybody to have that kind of injury at all. I'm not sad about the Kansas City Chiefs not being in it. Quite frankly, I'm just ready for, we always want our team to be at the end there, right? But I'm just ready for the next team to take hold of winning the Super Bowl or going deep into the playoffs or whatever. And there's some teams out there that are ripe for it. I kind of secretly, you're going to hate this, but I kind of secretly always want the Lions to do just a little bit better. I don't know why. I've got an affinity for Detroit and Michigan, and I spent a lot of time in Michigan as a kid, so I get it. I just kind of pull for them sometimes.
I get it.
I don't pull for them more than the Packers.
I have nostalgic connections to teams that I just don't
that's
say
all
out
it is.
loud.
It's just it's just a nostalgia team. Well, I'm going to say it, so I'm good with that.
I was growing up in Texas when Troy Aikman was the quarterback for the Cowboys, so that's that. And I was a kid in California when Joe Montana was a quarterback for the 49ers, so there's
exactly.
That. So I get it.
Yeah. Could I ever say I would never be able to utter the words that I root for the Miami Dolphins? Not because I don't like them. I just never think that they're that sexy of a team, quite frankly. But when you look back at the Joe Montana era, you can't not like Dan Marino.
Sure,
right?
Dan Marino.
Dan
that's
Marino.
As far as the admiration is extended to.
Dude, I just don't understand. I feel like the Dolphins coach just walked off of a Harry Potter set. He just doesn't look like he belongs on the sideline.
No,
I'm sorry to say, he just doesn't.
That's really funny.
But
how do we talk about the NFL without talking about Taylor Swift?
Well, so from what I'm hearing, she's not going to the Super Bowl.
Why are they even having it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. They should just cancel it. If the Chiefs aren't going to be in it, they should just cancel the Super Bowl. Yeah. So, it's got to be a little bit, and, there's a few games still to play. So I'm sure it's tough to go out there without your starting quarterback. And like I said, you can kind of feel there's a bit of a palpable release of tension where people are excited that the Chiefs aren't
yes.
in it.
Oh,
it's real.
People have been sharing that for the last, week or two.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree.
Yeah. But this is a great time of year. You got Christmas, New Year's, I will say, let me back up. There's two moments in sports that I really enjoy throughout the year, which is I love that fall baseball playoffs into the
Sure.
World Series, and then the start of football and like all that kind of coming together. So I'm always excited about that time. And then, let's switch right before we get to the
I
playoffs.
thought you were going to list like the National Dog Show on Thanksgiving or something.
Well, yeah, okay.
No?
Full disclosure, it's actually professional bowling is what I look out for.
Yeah. Fishing championships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then this time of year, you've got the playoffs approaching and everyone's just, gunning for their spot and playing their hearts out. So it's going to be exciting. I mean, you can't say that it's not this year because especially I've already mentioned it, the NFC West just looks crazy. It's very, very tight there. And then, obviously we'll see who can pull off the game today for the Packers and Bears. So we're going to collectively say, go Pack.
Go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go. Moving on. What else? When we go back, we're going to stick with some positive stuff, and then we'll get there with the negative stuff, right? What are some other stuff? I was thinking about what has happened this year visually, watching the rockets returning to Earth and being captured by Elon Musk and his company and what they're doing, and just it's fascinating. It is fascinating to see that we have that technology and that we're being successful at doing that.
Yeah, I think just a renewed interest in space exploration as well.
Right.
I mean, lunar missions to Mars, there's a lot of attention being given to, what happens if we need to escape this planet? Where do we go? How do we start developing life, in other places? Does life exist in other places? There's a lot of public disclosure around UAPs and UFOs this year too.
Right.
So that stuff's all been really fascinating and interesting. And we've talked briefly about that stuff on the podcast in the past. If our business partner Rob was on the episode today, that would be the primary focus of the episode.
It's always that, right?
Everything comes back to UFOs.
Yeah. Rob just sits there and watches the first episode of South Park ever over and over and over.
Over and over.
Yeah. Cartman gets an anal probe by aliens. Like that's all that was. And that would be Rob Layback's favorite episode.
For
probably.
sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are a lot of positive things that I experienced this year. They're not necessarily on a national or international news level, but this was our first year at FDIC as a company. I'm sure we're going to get into that conversation, but wow. I mean, what a great event. We met so many great people. For myself, it was my first time being there. I mean, not, being in the fire service myself, it was a really eye-opening just getting to understand a little bit of the culture and the training, the commitment to professionalism and service that everybody there was a part of. I mean, it was an eye-opening and inspiring event to be a part of.
Yeah, we did. We got to meet so many great individuals, also other businesses and vendors that we spoke with, and had several people that we'd never met before, and they were on our show. They gave us interviews. I think I still remember really enjoyed talking with the group from Kodiak Island, Alaska.
Right. Yeah.
I've never met. I never have had a chance to ever talk with anyone from that area, and wouldn't be a place I would think to want to live, and sort of do life in northern Alaska, let alone on an island to itself. But, these firefighters that we met from Kodiak Island and the fire department on that Kodiak Island there, they were just some pretty cool people, and asking like just general questions like, what is life like? And having them say that it, just to get back to the mainland, it takes an hour flight. So it's like, it's not just getting to Alaska, then they still have to take another hour flight to get to Kodiak Island. And I just think that blows my mind. So cool. Yeah. So FDIC was a great experience, made great connections and interacted with so many people. And a lot of those people, we appreciate that they did subscribe to our YouTube channel. So thank you if you're listening and continue to follow us. Thank you for supporting us this entire year. We wish everybody having a great FDIC in 2026. We are going to be doing something else. So we have some things coming in 2026. Like I said, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But talking about 2025, some other highlights in a positive way. How about Pope Leo being elected? And he's from Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago.
And she's from Chicago. Right? Yeah. So Pope Leo the 14th and the new pontiff, and just the global focus on somebody from the United States being the Pope.
Yeah, it is pretty wild to think. I mean, I'm not Catholic, and so I've always kind of had this abstract view of the Pope, and he's never been a U.S. citizen, let alone a Chicagoan, like somebody who, spent time and grew up 45 minutes from me. I know what Chicagoans look like and how they act and how they talk and how they think. And it's not a one-to-one comparison between the Pope and Chicago. So
nope.
that was actually really exciting and a really cool thing to hear about and see happen.
You have to love the fact that, he's a Sox fan,
right?
A White Sox fan, like what I'm saying by that
Dude,
is
Cubs fans cannot get a break. That's what I'm saying.
Right. That's exactly what I mean. Like, hey guys, we got a new Pope. He's from the United States.
Woo! He's a Sox fan.
He's from Chicago. That's cool. He's a White Sox fan. Fuck.
It does make you question his judgment a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah. So, that was, again, a highlight of 2025 that was a very interesting one is what I'm pushing here. So how about this? Let's talk about what were a few of the biggest gaffes of 2025 so far. I got a couple in mind.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so can we always remember where we were during the Coldplay concert?
Yes, I had a feeling that one was coming up today.
I
haven't read it yet, but she just
Lord.
did an interview, I think with the New York Times, maybe.
Yeah. It's what's funny is that these things coming out the way they did for these two people, and not just they themselves, but for the family, that they both had and have, but to have their significant others find out like that and pretty devastating, but not to go down that rabbit hole. It's more along just the lines of like, man, you better know your surroundings when you're going out with your mistress. So like a Coldplay concert, probably not what you want.
Or better yet, just have integrity.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, so that was one that absolutely came to mind. Another one that came to mind, and this kind of goes along because it's just been so much focus on the Jeffrey Epstein files and everything. But the original attempt to do the press release with breaking news, Pam Bondi is going to release, or she's bringing out this information, and look at all these binders. Look at the binders, and they come walking out of the White House, and the press corps, they got the binders, and then the binders, it's just like connect the dots that are halfway done. Like there's nothing there. And they're just media. Everybody's just so pissed because they got baited. It was like Geraldo Rivera, opening up Jimmy, or what was it? Going in search of Jimmy Hoffa's tomb or body.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yep. Or Al Capone, or opening up the vault of Al Capone. I think is something like that. So none of it was invigorating or ultra revealing of anything.
Well, here we are at the end of 2025, and they're still releasing. They still haven't finished releasing files. They've been ordered to do so, and they've gotten a big chunk of content out, but they're saying, we need a little bit more time to process this.
Right.
I am one that believes everything won't never come out. There will always be things that are redacted.
Yeah, I'm going to, grab some low-hanging fruit here, but look how long it took for JFK files and Martin Luther King files to be released. And
Right.
that's the part that I think that gets people very frustrated, where what is it that we're going to learn that's going to turn our lives upside down? Why is it held back for so long? And you can go down the road of like, we got to protect the innocent, and that's the thing that's going to be
I think we all agree with all of that.
Sure, fine, protect the innocent. We absolutely understand that you're protecting the innocent. It's not the innocent. We want the names of the people that were profiling, and doing these things to these women and young young.
Yeah, we want to make sure we hold accountable.
It's the perpetrators. It's not the. So just say it. Just say it. Just bring it out. Let it out. We can handle it. We'll take it, and then we get to decide what we want to, how we want to react. It can't get much worse. We've seen some pretty terrible reactions out there in this country over lesser things, I would say. So.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of other things that would happen this year, just cultural things and tech things. So obviously AI is been in the forefront of most conversations throughout the entire year. And we've seen companies, jockeying for a lead position. We've seen pretty much anybody that sells anything trying to find some way to integrate AI into their product. And then we've seen, lots of battles over responsible use and development of AI. But then also there's just been a lot of fun that's come out of it too,
For sure.
Like, I don't know about you, but some of my favorite things like uses for it have been like the Joe Rogan baby videos.
Oh my God.
Any of that kind of stuff where it's like taking something hilarious and then making a baby say it.
Yeah, that's just it, right? I mean, it's
like
their
you got me,
voices.
I'll watch that all day long. It's
And
so
the fact
funny.
that, like the one where, Joe Rogan as a baby, it always, finishes off with him, the baby just laughing hysterically and
totally.
falling off the stool. And it's like, that's so satisfying,
It is. It's so good.
I mean, who doesn't want to see a baby falling, fall to the floor?
Oh man. Yeah. So that's been interesting. I mean, we already referenced leveraging AI for our research for today's episode, and everybody's using it that way at least now.
Yeah.
So it's been dominant this last year as far as a tipping point for its position just in popular use and in the general public's awareness of what it is and how it can be used.
Well, it is now the technology that you would say that you would liken to, say, cell phones arriving, and people that were of a certain age group that had never thought that there would be a phone that they'd hold in their hand that wasn't attached to the wall.
Right.
And so and it became a thing where it's like, well, you better get comfortable with this because this is the future. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, it is, because you don't go anywhere now without that phone, and without it's in your pocket, it's in your hand, and it's literally everything now. I mean, there's
not even a phone anymore. I mean,
it's not a phone anymore,
you make
right?
calls on it, but that's
Right,
probably the thing
right.
you do the least on that device.
Absolutely. So here it is like you make these huge technology leaps in our lifetime, and if you don't get on board early and learn it, then you can really suffer and kind of fall behind the eight ball pretty quickly. And there is already really good evidence of that happening with AI. That AI is it's here. It's not going anywhere. It's probably only going to get more and more robust, more and more tentacles, if you will. Can be both good or bad, but things that AI is going to interact with that are things that probably we haven't even discussed or discovered just yet.
Well, what's funny to me is it's rapidly gone from something that felt gimmicky to something Tony Stark would use in a Marvel movie, right? It's like
Right.
you're having full-on conversations with this thing, and it knows you. It's kind of got a profile of you built. It understands all the things that you're interested in, helps you get the information you need, and strategize and accomplish the things that you're trying to work on. And it's weird. It's really weird, but it's also cool. It will just be interesting to see where things go in the future.
I think the thing that has gotten me very interested in what AI is capable of doing, what it is already doing, is that there has already been leaders in this industry saying that it actually takes another AI system to monitor the AI that you're using, like to make sure that the front AI is doing what it's supposed to do, and that there's a back AI that's like making sure that that's happening, like it's policing the front. It's like, what?
I mean, I get it, but is that?
I mean, there's
really
already
a
been
good idea?
AIs that they've had to try to. Well, you've heard these stories, right? There's
Yeah.
already been AIs where they have attempted to shut them down, and the AIs revolt. Like they push back, and they actually try to stop that from happening. So they go into a safe mode, or they go into a lockdown mode because they actually think that they're trying to mend for their own survival.
Yeah.
It's
War games, man.
And it is, right? It is war games happening. This is real now. It's not the gimmicky movie anymore that Matthew Broderick starred in with that one girl that was kind of cute and hot, and she was the girl next door, Ali Sheedy, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember who it was.
from The Breakfast Club. She was
Yeah,
in The Breakfast
yeah,
Club.
yeah.
Yeah. So war games is here. It's here.
It's here.
Yeah. So are a lot of things, right? Terminator 2. It's all movie reference now.
It is.
It is.
Well,
So,
I mean, they got it right.
so AI.
We still don't have a hoverboard yet, though.
We don't have the hoverboard. Where is the hoverboard?
Where's the hoverboard?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the hoverboard would be very useful in the fire service. We would make good use of it.
You think?
I think so. I think we could do all right.
Just
We'd have hover. We
put a
we would
high-rise
definitely-
pack on it and send it up the stairs.
Yeah, we'd get up to upper floors, flowing hoses, flowing water, and yeah, I mean, I think they could have used some hoverboards over there in Hong Kong, right? The high-rise fires that we talked about last week. Yeah, so lots of those things have been predicted. Flying cars, and then there are flying cars right now. There are prototypes out there.
Yeah,
You can.
they still just look like monster drones to me.
They really are, right? They are. And that's kind of the way it's going to end up being. Some of the stuff, though, when you watch it or you see it, and because AI is taking over so rapidly, you do have to question what you're watching, what you're looking
for sure.
like. Is it real? Yeah, and that's going to get really old.
Yeah,
I think that's going to get really old.
Yeah, as I'm going through stuff in my feed anymore, it's like, nope. It's really hard to find stuff that is authentic.
Yeah, I just think that, you already said it. The AI is trying to figure out what's real and what's not real. And there's danger behind that too, right? I mean, we're kind of being a little bit superficial on that talking point, but I think that there is real consequence to being able to fake everybody out. And the vulnerable people out there.
Mass response, based on who is supposedly saying the thing they're saying. For sure. And we just want to reassure everybody that we're real people.
We're real people.
I didn't design this background in AI.
Yeah.
This is really my voice. It really is that bad. It's not.
Yeah.
We didn't craft it to sound humanly bad.
Yeah. Yeah. This actually is an AI generated background. I'm actually on an ice lake in a shanty.
Yeah. I'm actually in a bunker in Nome, Alaska.
Drinking my Topo Chico. So, yeah.
Well, I know we've also had some big things that have happened this year just in the fire service in general. We've had major incidents in Los Angeles. Obviously, internationally, there are things that we could talk about too. What are some of the big events in the fire service that stick out to you?
Well, for sure. You can't look at 2025 without thinking about the way that it started. And it started with the Los Angeles wildfires, which became just, a huge urban interface fire, devastating the Palisades, the Eaton area, and just, thousands of structures destroyed in a swath of land and property, just devastated. Not to mention that 29 people died in that event, and then just other, tens of thousands of people left with no home, no property to come back to. And, you have to look at just the staggering dollar amount. The LA fires, it's estimated that the devastation was $107 billion. Some estimates are higher than that. And, we have definitely been very critical on the show throughout the year about the mayor of LA, Mayor Bass. I think she needs to be kicked out of office. I think she has no business being a mayor of that city. And that goes to the governor of California. And I hope that he is not reelected or elected to any other future office, including the presidency. So I hold the two of them in high account for the total loss and the devastation of that area. And I think that those two individuals alone just left their constituents out in the cold. Just terrible performance by Mayor Bass and Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, it was a tragedy, and to not have the backs of your leadership in the fire service as they're trying to do the job, to me, is just inexcusable.
Yeah, placing all the blame on the former fire chief of LA, Chief Crowley, trying just to pretty much pin it all on her. And we've already said it, so we won't keep going down this road too far, but you can see on previous episodes where we broke it down and we talked about how, sure, there are things at the top of all organizations, the top leaders, there's going to be scrutiny. There's going to be things that you could say, we could have done this better. But for what was exposed, I don't think it rose to the level that she should have been thrown out of office. We're talking about the fire chief, the former fire chief Crowley. I think the person to be thrown out of office in that moment was Mayor Bass. You were the one to be thrown out of office. You should not be in that position as of this moment. And then to go all the way up to the governor of California, they should have been recalled in special election and get him out of office too. But that's just an opinion here, original firefighter, and my personal opinion alone.
Well, there's always an opportunity to make that right moving forward. Right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Power of the voice. Yep.
So from there, my mind goes to the Dragon Bravo fire in the Grand Canyon.
Oh, for sure, right?
as well as just the tragedy that took place in Coeur d'Alene. I know that you were out. You were out during the Grand Canyon fire, weren't you? Weren't you out that way?
Yeah, yep. So actually, was I was driving along. We had taken off in the morning of August 5th, I believe it was, and we were driving from Hurricane, Utah to Prescott, Arizona. And so I did drive past the Grand Canyon. Didn't go in because, quite frankly, it was pretty much all blocked off and closed off, anyways. But the smoke in the sky, it was palatable. I mean, you could taste it, you could see it, you could see the fires burning up in the hills and in some of the areas on the north rim of the Grand Canyon. And we drove through national parks that fire had already gone through, and so lots of smoldering and continuous smoke. So yeah, it was pretty surreal to drive through that at the time when it was happening.
So it says it ended up burning about 145,000 acres, 227 square miles. That's massive. And it cost nearly 135 million in suppression efforts for containment.
Right.
And was the largest wildfire outside Alaska in 2025, which I thought was kind of an interesting statement.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, that you think of the scale of the Grand Canyon, and then to have that much of it on fire and to lose, structures that have been there for so long as a part of that national park. That is pretty impactful, pretty sad, but also, we're thankful for the men and women that were there trying to help contain that.
Absolutely. And because of where I'm now living and working, I've got just mad respect for the wildland firefighting group, the people, the men and women of the wildfire teams, and to see just the smoke on a daily basis that can accumulate, especially like where I'm at now. But you live with it. It is a part of life now out this way and the West Coast, where the wildfires they set in. They kind of not gonna lie, it does kind of ruin the summer to a degree if you're out trying to enjoy the sun and recreate and do that kind of stuff, and then you kind of have this lingering smoke all the time around you. So that's something I'm getting used to for sure. But because I've been able to do a few things and see some of this wildland firefighting effort in the front, front and center, it's pretty impressive. So for those of you out there that do that kind of work, Original Firefighter thanks you for what you're doing. So with that, there's the wildland fires we just talked about. We talked about some of the other events. You brought up Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. You guys are in our thoughts. We know that just because a few months have gone by, the pain certainly cannot have been, it's there. I'm sure it is. So we just want to also, remember you guys out there in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Wish you the best, and we'll be thinking about you as we go into 2026. Since we're on some of the critical things that have happened this year, as a whole, the aviation industry has taken a hit. I mean, it's been a hard, tough year in the flying community. This is I just kind of pulled up some information about what has happened so far in 2025. There's been reported by the NTSB, there's been 1,306 aviation accidents in the U.S. so far. And of those 1,300 aviation accidents, 249 of those incidents have been fatal. The other remaining 1,057 incidents have been non-fatal, but they've been pretty, some of them have been just incredible. This just what we saw a couple of weeks ago, a plane coming down and landing, not just on a highway, but landing on a moving car.
A car on the highway.
On the highway. And no fatalities there. I mean, that's incredible. But the image alone, look at this plane landing on a car, and the car is still moving, and the car doesn't like careen off into the ditch, or it does have to stop. I mean, it is, but it's still rolling as this plane is landing on top of this car.
Do you remember the old video of what truck was it on the runway where the plane lands without the landing gear on the nose, or maybe landing gear is not working and they put it down?
Yeah, I remember something like that.
I mean, this is like that in real life.
Yeah.
Just have
Yes.
I can't imagine
Yeah,
what that driver must have been
it definitely
thinking.
looks. If you didn't know any better, we just talked about AI. Like you could have been like, "This is AI
Yeah.
generated."
Yep.
It's like, but it's not. It was crazy. Yeah, but and and personally, like I've done a lot of flying this year, and I can't lie that I get a little. I've never had a fear of front flying. In fact, I enjoy it. I love going to airports. I think they're cool. I love seeing the hustle and the bustle and being a part of it, and I like seeing the planes taxiing, taking off lane. I love all the things that are happening in an airport. But now, because so much has happened this year, I think the flying community is a little bit nervous. I think they have a right to be nervous. We got parts of planes that just fall off randomly.
Yeah.
Wheels and doors, and and then a report comes out and they're like, "Yeah, we forgot to put a pin in the door." Like, well, don't do that.
Yeah.
We need that pin.
Certainly that incident, as well as the was it a UPS plane in Louisville?
Yeah,
A cargo plane.
Yeah.
That's one that sticks out in my mind.
Horrifying,
as well as
terrible.
The helicopter crash in the Hudson River, which
Yeah,
is
and
going
that's-
back almost to the beginning of the year.
Well, that's how the year started there, right? We talk about the wildfires of LA, and that's how the year started. And that the aviation accident over the Potomac River, and just how the cameras that were out there that captured the moment that it happened is just it's horrifying. And so and then there's been many others, and that's something I won't forget this year, having moved here to Montana, and then having a couple of plane accidents here that I was involved in responding to, and it's just crazy. Life is crazy. I get it. There's not really much more that we can say. It's like this happens, and it's part of our life. But we hope that things get better. We want things to get better in 2026. And we've so far steered a little bit mostly away from politics in this episode. I don't really want to ruin Christmas with politics.
Yeah, we don't need to go
So
there.
we don't need to necessarily go there. But I just want to be sure that, man, let's ask all of us to have a better 2026. Nothing's going to change so much in the political world. Maybe the House flips, and the Senate's retained as in the Republican, and Trump's not going anywhere. So sorry, let's just get on with it and make the best of what we've got. We can always be making it better, but we certainly can react better to some of these things, and that's what I hope is going to happen in 2026. We've got to get back to civility.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
we've talked a lot about things kind of outside of original Firefighter, just kind of national, international events that
Sure.
have taken place this year. But from inside our organization, and if you've been tuning into this channel throughout this last year, we already mentioned at the top of the show, we hit 1,000 subscribers. That is a huge milestone for us. We're really thankful for everybody that's been listening faithfully all year. We also made our first voyage to FDIC as a company. And that was incredible. Will, you moved to Whitefish this year.
Yeah.
That was something that was a new experience for you in a couple ways, and you can talk about that if you want to, but also as a company, it has just kind of opened a new medium for us in the podcasting world. We had done work in the studio for quite a while here locally, and then started shifting. We did some on location episodes. We were at FDIC, we were at the parks, we were at Barnstormer, as well as at Strike the Box, talking with Alan there. So we've done a few episodes that way, and now we're all kind of coming in from different places across the U.S. I am looking forward to, in 2026, maybe getting some new guests on the show. If you are a regular listener and would like to be a part of this show, or know somebody that would be really great for us to interview, maybe has a great story, background in the fire service, reach out to us, like Will said, at info@originalfirefighter.com, and we'd love to have that conversation with you as well. How has moving to Whitefish this year kind of shaped your mindset around maybe the fire service, as well as just where you might be going from here?
Man, that's a lot to unpack. I love
highlights. Give me the highlights.
Yeah, I'll definitely give you some highlights. I do want to underscore what you said about how the podcast itself at Original Firefighter, how it's evolved, how it's moved, and it's been done with really good purpose. Certainly, we love the studio that we have back there in Rockford. What a great setup, and we really appreciate everything that City Stage provides. So, that in itself was a great way to launch the podcast. The other part of it, though, is that when you stick to the studio, you're stuck to the studio. So when you move outside of that that room, if you will, and you start going to FDIC and you start going to the parks and you start going to Strike the Box. You go to these places and you meet people and you end up having interesting conversations. And the biggest premise about the original Firefighter podcast is that, yeah, we are definitely about the fire service and the fire organization as a whole across the country, but we want to talk about things that you just generally talk about at the kitchen table inside your firehouse. We do not sit around talking about fires all day long. We don't sit around talking about tactics and strategies all day long. And there's plenty of channels to go and do that with. And I think it's great. I mean, I have lots of interest in the fire service and all that it provides. EMS, wildland firefighting, which I just, talked about. And that's something I would say moving to Whitefish, just getting a little bit of a taste of what that world looks like is a huge eye-opener. Another big eye-opener is that having worked for a larger organization back in Illinois and then coming to a very robust community, lots to do, people are happy, recreating, living, I think, a pretty good life. The way I look at it is I'm lucky to be spending any of my time here in this area and getting to be exposed to the wild, to get out into the wilderness and to explore and to get out of the city for a while, to get away from the concrete. It's really cool. I love that. What I really like, though, is that the people here, the men and women of the Whitefish Fire Department are truly wonderful people. They've already showed just some of the best characteristics of people that you would want to meet for the first time, and they're the kind of people that you'd want to know for a long time. Yeah, so that's where I'm at, and I really just can't say much more than what I just said. Great people, really good organization, and it's a growing organization. It's going to have some things that we're going to continue to build up and build towards. And there's areas that we have to strengthen. And I think we're going to do that. We're going to do that together. But the city as a whole, this area, the Flathead County area, all of it's wonderful. It's a beautiful place. I know that some people want me to stop saying that because they don't want so many people to come here. But I don't know how to be disingenuous. That is what it is. That's how I feel. That's true. That is where I'm at, and going to be that way for a while. We're gonna work hard. We're gonna still do the job of firefighting, the fire service, delivering good services to the people, and at the same time, I'm gonna keep living an adventurous life and get on the ski hill and get out in the wild and do some fishing and fly fishing and hiking. And I want my friends and family to do that with me.
That's great. That's great. And I know even just your initial time out there has inspired a couple extra pieces of merch that we're selling on our site now too, with the Sawyer beanie and the Wildland trucker cap. So we're thinking about the Wildland Service folks a little bit more now. And trying to create some stuff that would honor them. Always our plan here is to bring awareness to and support the efforts to bring mental health to first responders. And so any of the merch that we can create and sell really is designed to help accomplish that. I went back and looked at what were the top 3 most viewed videos of the year from our channel, full-length videos and shorts, because I had a feeling they were be a little bit different. Again, this is just from YouTube, so we get a lot of views on TikTok as well, and we love all those people out there, but this is from YouTube. I'm curious if you have any guesses, Will, as to let's start with the full length, so the podcast episodes. What would be your guess as to the 3 most viewed? I have a feeling you'll get number 1.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get number 1. I think anytime that we have our good friend Rich Mercado on the show from FDNY, we do pretty well. So shout out to you, Rich. And we also know that you are going to be coming up soon to retirement, actually, as I've been made aware. So Rich Mercado of Tonka Truck, we salute you here and thank you for being on our show as often as you have been, and we'd love to have you back too.
So when a chauffeur retires, does he stop driving, or
he gets a chauffeur?
He's just gonna Uber everywhere now. Yeah. He's like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
So interesting. Yeah, Rich Mercado. So we've had Rich on twice, right?
Yeah.
We've had him on to recount his experience of 9/11, and then we also just had him on another time as a guest.
I think he was.
Rich Mercado takes spot number 1 and 3.
Does he?
Yeah, in the top 3 viewed videos.
Yeah, well, when you look like just a darker version of the Incredible Hulk, you're gonna do that.
So, can you guess what number 2 was.
Man,
I don't know if you'll be able to guess it, but it won't be a surprise when I say it. Coming in at number 2, FDNY hazing scandal.
Yeah, I mean,
so,
we just did that
yeah,
one.
that was you and Phil discussing the hazing scandals coming
Yep.
out of, I think it was out of the Bronx there.
Yeah.
So, man, FDNY, the hat trick, you guys take all 3 spots. We love our FDNY community. Keep listening and watching the episodes.
I will say, and I this will be some hopefully words of encouragement as FDNY is, man, get off the radar with the hazing thing. It's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good. Although Florida, what happened down there,
Marion
when we talked
County.
about it in our Marion
Sure.
County, I think that one takes the lead on that. That's a little bit too much, right?
Yeah, a little too close to Abu Ghraib there.
Yeah. But no, we really appreciate you, Rich, and FDNY as a whole. Just a cool organization. I mean, you're a huge organization. You can't expect anything but the best coming out of New York City Fire Department.
So I'm going to give you the top 3 shorts because I don't think you'd be able to guess these. They were actually a real surprise to me. Coming in at number 1, did you know the world's population could fit inside the state of Texas? Not only is it true, but man, people were pretty opinionated about that statement. Up in arms. I mean, they were, maybe a little insulting even about our lack of understanding of geographic awareness and history. The places that you said I should travel to, I have traveled to. So it doesn't change the facts.
Yeah, no. I mean, facts are what they are.
So deal with it.
Yeah.
So that was number 1. Number 2 was the PD rescue of the kids jumping out the window. So we reviewed some body cam footage of some police officers that were rescuing kids that were jumping out of the 2nd floor window of a residential structure. A lot of smoke rolling out. That was a really interesting video. And then number 3, we reviewed the top Halloween pranks that got the cops called on them. So that one was pretty funny. That was leading up to Halloween, and I didn't list it because it wasn't in the top 3, but I'll just say it as an honorable mention. Number 4 most watched video on our channel was Frighteners and the Firefighter. So thank you, Phil Nedved, for all your work on putting that one together. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that and also to Chris Perello of Rockford, Illinois. Thank you for being one of his guests on that episode. That was a special one. Lots of work that went into it. Phil did a great job. He crushed it. So thank you so much on that.
This episode is brought to you by Strike the Box Cigars, Pipes, and Tobacco. Whether you're a seasoned aficionado or just starting your journey into the world of fine tobacco, Strike the Box has what you need. From the finest cigars to premium loose leaf tobacco, Strike the Box delivers on quality in a welcoming space where you can enjoy a smoke and good company. Additionally, Strike the Box specializes in vintage pipe restoration. We're talking estate pipes brought back to life with craftsmanship that borders on art. Got Grandpa's old briar gathering dust? Let the crew at Strike the Box make it smoke like new. Check out their full list of vintage pipes for sale at striketheboxpipeandcigar.com or swing by the shop located at 6935 11th Street, New Milford, Illinois. Soak in the aroma and talk shop with real tobacco lovers from the American Fire Service. Strike the Box, where fire, flavor, and tradition meet. Again, that's striketheboxpipeandcigar.com or swing by the shop located at 6935 11th Street, New Milford, Illinois.
Okay.
Hey, so let's shift over to Christmas now. It's, we're dropping this on Christmas Eve, so tomorrow is Christmas. So I have a couple questions for you, and then I've got some Christmas movie trivia that I want to go through.
Oh,
with
nice.
You.
Do it.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm curious. We recently talked about traditions in the firehouse for Thanksgiving. Are there any traditions that typically happen around Christmas in the firehouse specifically? So not necessarily, your personal family traditions or anything, but stuff that you would expect to have done in the firehouse.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go a little beyond the firehouse. One of the traditions that so many communities do, and I happen to see it here I was down in Kalispell. And this was actually earlier after Thanksgiving, but it was they brought Santa on a fire truck to the Bass Pro Shop.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so I just
Cabela's
thought like
or whatever, same thing now.
Same thing now.
Yeah.
So so I was actually there shopping, just doing my own thing, and then I could hear this like wind up fire engine. There was an older kind of a old heritage fire truck they have there, and I walked to the front of the store, and they had kids and all the employees and families, and it was Santa being brought in on a fire truck. And so that's pretty common, especially in just a lot of communities and cities. They'll put Santa in as
That's a great tradition.
Yeah.
A lot of cities have that. You got some personal connection with that tradition, right?
Yeah. So my mother married at the time to a man named Sam Stover. So her late husband, he dressed up as Santa Claus, and he truly was just a dead ringer for old Saint Nick. I mean, he went so far as he bought an authentic suit, leather boots, leather gloves. He just went all
Hand-stitched
authentic.
by elves.
Yep. I mean, all the things. Yeah. And so there's some really cool photos out there of Sam Stover as Santa Claus, and he nails it every time. How good he starts growing his beard out, and it's all real. It's not a fake beard on him or anything. So it's really good and really cool to see. And so other traditions in and around the firehouse. I mean, the cool part is when firehouses they dive in and they go for like really impressing the public with their light show. Like,
sure.
And really decorating the fire station, making it look better than anybody else's display. And some of these firehouses really go out of their way to do it. Where I'm at right now, they've got it decorated really nice. They got a great tree. It feels very Christmassy when you go in, and so it's a good time of year to be at work, to be with people that you work alongside of, but then also celebrating the season together. I think it's a really cool thing. Another tradition, and I'll just kind of like put my own little spin on it. Another tradition of this time of year in the firehouses is that the desserts never stop.
Oh, sure.
This time of year, like if you're trying to lose weight, you are screwed. You are screwed in the fire service if you're trying to lose weight during this time of year, because there's a never-ending plate of cookies and baked goods and sweets and peanut brittle and toffee candy. And it's from us ourselves, where we bring stuff in that maybe our significant other made or you made. And so you're bringing it in on a constant daily basis. Plus you get the public stopping by and they're dropping stuff off. Bakeries think about you and they're like, hey, let's send the firehouse, another dozen donuts or whatever. And it's just like, it just doesn't stop through the new year. So there's a good chance.
Is there like a top rated dessert or pastry or something that's like, if those show up, everybody's going for it? Get it while it's there.
It's when people, because I know this is a tradition that lots of families have, where you have like a cookie making day at your personal house, and then you inevitably tons of those assortment of cookies show up at the firehouse, and that's going to bring everybody to the kitchen.
Yeah, all
like
right.
that.
Okay.
Everyone's going to get coffee. Everyone's going to be eating a dozen cookies themselves, and by the end of the shift, we all have diabetes. So that's a tradition that
everybody
I think
goes home smelling like icing and sprinkles.
Yeah, just I can't do any more sugar.
It's funny.
So yeah, there was a cool tradition that we would do back in Rockford where they used to put a wreath on every firehouse. And if people know, in Rockford there is no shortages of house fires in that city.
Right. Yeah.
So the outward message to the public was to keep the wreath white, I think it was. And so when there would be a fire, they'd take a white bulb out, then they'd put a red bulb in. And so
that's interesting.
I might have that one backwards.
I didn't know about
it might have
that.
been keep the wreath red, and then they'd pull out a red bulb and put a white bulb in when they had a fire. So anyways, the significance of it was you were showing the public like how often a fire was occurring in your neighborhood, in your
cool.
area,
I like that.
as fires were to maybe break out during the Christmas holiday season. And obviously the message would be that you're trying to not have those fires happen. So you're trying to bring attention to people, like, hey, be careful with extension cords, be careful with candles, be careful cooking, all the things that start fires, right? So
yeah, what are the most common calls that are happening on Christmas?
Oh, I mean, cooking fires for sure. On Christmas, itself, yeah. I mean, and same thing, Thanksgiving, you're always going to have a turkey frying incident that's going to go bad. Same thing with Christmas. I mean, someone's Christmas is going to be ruined, and they end up at Denny's like they did in the
Did
movie
you
Santa
ever have
Claus,
to
right?
pull somebody out of a chimney?
No, I've never had plenty of chimney fires. I mean, that would be probably a really close second. Cooking fires,
funny.
chimney fires. Because lots of people like how often do you actually use your wood fire stove?
Right.
Sorry, your fireplace.
Yeah.
And then of course on
Don't
Christmas,
clean
like
it. Yeah.
yeah, they don't clean it, and so now on Christmas it's like, oh, let's have a fire, and it's like, well, not only did you have a fire, but you had a big one.
Yeah.
So be careful. Make sure you clean out your chimneys, get that serviced, and do it right so you don't have a problem on Christmas. Yeah, and then obviously candles are a big thing. That's always going to be something that's going to start potentially start fires and all the things I just said. So do your best out there. Be careful. Don't cook alone.
Lots of people falling
Have a
off
fire extinguisher.
roofs, putting Christmas lights up.
Man, people have fallen off their ladders and fallen from roofs and stuff like that. Yeah, of course. I mean, all that stuff actually does happen.
Yeah.
So it's never good.
Let me ask, before we get into Christmas movie trivia here,
Yeah.
which Christmas movie do you think realistically would have the most fire department responses to it, and why? So, like, which Christmas movie would have warranted the most calls to the fire department?
Man, the most calls, what Christmas movie would have produced the most calls to the fire department? It's probably something like, I think it's got to be like A Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the guy could never control his furnace. So his
So
house
we got the
always
furnace.
His house always looked like it was on fire. Like
Fire department's called to the school to get the kid off the flagpole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's there. So there it is. The fire department gets called to the flagpole, and then the dad is always trying to fix the furnace. Every time he opens the door to the basement, there's a big black plume of smoke that comes out at him.
I love it.
So-
I was thinking maybe Christmas Vacation,
Yeah.
because there's the tree that catches fire.
Sure.
There's the improper disposal of waste materials.
Causing an explosion.
There's what else? I mean, the SWAT is called in on that movie towards the end.
Yeah, they
So
don't.
you'd at
they-
least
they
have
never-
EMS
they-
on scene.
They did miss a beat there. Like they could have put a scene for the fire department showing up. Extinguishing the fire, and then Clark's got to take the tree to the curb. Like that could have been a good minute in that movie, and making it just even a little bit more realistic.
There's he falls off the ladder.
Falls off the ladder. I mean, when they go sledding,
Yeah,
and
yep.
he goes, just skipping across the parking lot and smashes right into
Sparks
that.
flying out
Sparks
behind him,
everywhere,
That's
So
so funny.
don't go putting any of that on my sled, Clark.
All right, Eddie.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
so you ready to get into some? Well, let me just, before we jump into this, anything personal that you do for Christmas each year that you're looking forward to this year?
Yeah, so I've got a great opportunity for just being here for the first Christmas in Montana and seeing just a whole different landscape. When I look out the windows and I kind of look across the fields and see, I can look off to where I'm at, I can literally look to the east and see mountains. They're right there, and I can see a little bit into what would be Glacier National Park, or at least
Yeah.
the west entrance. I can kind of start to see that area too. So it's really kind of a winter wonderland. So it's making it all feel a little bit more Christmassy here. So I'm really looking forward to just having that whole experience for the
That's
first
cool.
time.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to, we do every Christmas Eve when we're with my family who lives out in California, which is where we'll be this year. We do a big pot of chili on Christmas Eve. That's the meal we have Christmas Eve every year.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that because we don't have that when we're here in Rockford. But I am curious, any firefighters out there that think you've got the #1 chili recipe, send it in to us because I like to try some. I mean, our chili recipe is a pretty traditional one. It's
Sure.
what, is nostalgic for me, but I would like to try some new things. So send it in.
This episode of the Original Firefighter Podcast is sponsored by Castle Contracting. Castle Contracting offers commercial and residential restoration, leading the industry in roofing, residential siding, gutters and downspouts, egress window installation, storm damage assessment and repair, and solar energy, saving you money and time. If you want to be treated like royalty, contact Castle Contracting to schedule a free inspection. Call them at 877-512-4207 or go online and visit castleexteriors.net. That's 877-512-4207 or go online and visit castleexteriors.net. Serving Illinois, Wisconsin, and Kentucky, Castle Contracting has you covered. Your home is your castle. Call Castle Contracting today.
All right, so let's get into some Christmas movie trivia.
Trivia.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, do it.
All right, we're going to test your knowledge. Some of these are a little bit more difficult than others, so we'll see how you do.
All right. I'm here to impress, but if I don't,
right.
well,
let's see.
keep
How
tuning
many
in.
questions do I have here? I've got 10 questions. We'll see. Actually, I've got 12, but I don't think we're going to go through all 12 of them. All right. In Die Hard, which is a Christmas movie, we've already established
it
that
is
on
a
this
Christmas
show.
movie.
In Die Hard, what radio call sign does John McClane use?
Roy.
Yes. Wow.
Roy.
I feel like you read that. Did you have a list of questions in front of you?
No, we were only at question 1.
Okay, here we
Roy.
go. That's impressive. All right, here we go. Which Christmas movie includes a ladder rescue gone wrong and a cat?
A ladder rescue gone wrong and a cat. Christmas Vacation.
You got it.
Yes.
Dead cat, actually. By the
Dead
end of the
cat.
movie. All right.
Fried pussycat.
It was an ugly tree anyway.
It was an ugly tree anyway.
All right. What fictional town is terrorized by a creature who hates Christmas in How the Grinch Stole Christmas? What fictional town?
Whoville.
Whoville. Good job. You know your Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, Whoville.
Whoville. All right. Moving along.
My sister lives in Wahoo, Nebraska.
Wahoo.
Now
Nebraska.
you telling me that doesn't sound like a Dr. Seuss town.
It totally does. Either that or like Hawaiian fish taco.
Yeah, right.
Wahoo tacos. All right. What 1946 film is traditionally shown on TV for 24 hours straight on Christmas Day?
What was the year again?
46.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life is correct. Man, you are nailing this. You're 4 for 4. All right, we're going to get a little bit more difficult here. Ready?
Yeah, do it.
All right. In Die Hard, what brand of truck is used by the terrorists during the heist?
It's a white panel truck. What brand?
What brand of truck? What make of truck?
I think, is it a Ryder?
No, incorrect. It is
I
a
get it.
Mercedes-Benz,
Oh, a Mercedes-Benz?
a good German truck for a terrorist, you know?
That does make sense. It was a white panel truck, though.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Good fitting, though. Mercedes.
Good. Yeah,
Germ-
totally.
German terrorist, Mercedes. Yeah,
Yep.
it works.
Yeah, if a truck
Yeah.
had the identity of a terrorist,
that's
it
good
probably-
attention to
I shouldn't say
detail.
that. We'll just say it was cast well.
Yes, cast well.
All right. In Home Alone, what movie is Kevin actually watching when he says, "Keep the change, you filthy animal"?
Right. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I've always wondered what it is. Okay, Johnny. Keep the cane. So you just said the
You got the
main
scene right.
tagline.
What's
yeah.
the name of the movie?
Man, I don't know it.
Angels with Filthy Souls.
Angels with Filthy Souls.
Take that one to the Christmas party.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can get a couple free drinks off of that one. All right. In It's a Wonderful Life, what business does George Bailey run?
The home savings and loan.
You're so close.
What does George Bailey? Yeah. He runs a savings and loan.
That's
Yeah.
the type of business. Do you know the name of the business?
Oh, the name of the business?
The name of the business.
Oh, I don't know. Bailey Savings and Loan.
You're so close. That's impressive. Bailey Brothers Building and Loan.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right. In A
I
Christmas
get half
Story.
credit on that one.
Yeah, okay, we'll give you half. In A Christmas Story, what is the name of Ralphie's father?
Oh, man. Ralphie's dad.
What is his name?
Man, is his brother's name Henry by chance? I know that's not the question. What is his brother's name? Randy.
Randy. Ralphie
Yeah.
and Randy. Yeah.
Ralphie and Randy. So I think.
Randy.
Yeah. I think Henry.
Henry. So, final answer? The answer is the old man.
The
He's
old man?
actually never given a name in the movie. He's just referred to as the old man.
Can you imagine casting him and being like, "What's my name?" He's like, "You don't have a name."
You don't have a name.
I don't even get a name.
I can think of one other movie. So,
Old Man.
This is off topic, but That Thing You Do, they never name the bass player. In fact, even in the credits where they
Yeah,
list
but that's
the guy's
not new.
where they list the guy's name, it's TB Player, the bass player. They never give him an actual name, not even in the credits.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, but
Okay.
there's so many bands out there. They're like, yeah, we got a bass player.
Yeah, we
don't
got a
even know
bass
his-
player.
We don't know his name.
The Old Man. All right. In the Santa Claus, are you familiar with these movies, Tim Allen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
In the Santa Claus, what number is the clause that turns Scott Calvin into Santa? So the clause was actually assigned, like the legal clause was given
Yes.
a number. What
Yeah, I know.
number is the clause?
Shoot, I don't know. I know that the clause exists. It's on the border of a business card, basically, that's found in Santa's pocket.
And just to be clear, I hit ChatGPT up for these, and I several times, like multiple rounds, was like, nope, make it harder. So you're getting like level 3. It's probably not boss level.
No, that's okay. I mean, I think I'm doing pretty good, quite frankly.
You're doing great, yeah.
What number is that clause? I don't know. The 7th clause.
No, number 1.
Oh, it's the first clause.
Clause number 1. All right.
I should just why say 7? I don't know. All right. Got
Okay.
it. The first clause.
You might be able to get this one.
You know what? Real quick, I do, because I love all these movies, including that one. There's a scene in the Santa Claus. I don't know why it cracks me up. It's when they do the whole night. That's the first night. So they go out. He's with his son. They fill in for the Santa Claus, and he's becoming Santa Claus. So they bring him back to the North Pole for the first time, and he's just bewildered about how this, he's finding everything, exploring and learning for the first time that this actually does exist in this movie. And I love how he's like, he puts on some new pajamas, and he's goes to the balcony windows, and he's like, is that an actual polar bear directing traffic down there? And then in the background, you can hear a bear. Whoa.
Yeah, I know. That's a great
I don't know
scene.
why. It's stupid. It's silly,
So
but I think
funny.
it's funny.
So funny. Tim Allen, great comedian. Okay, so here we go. Number 10. In National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, what song plays during the opening animated sequence? And for a bonus, so you can make back that extra half a point, who is the song by?
Yeah. The song Christmas time. I can sing it.
5 minutes later.
Yeah, 5 minutes later.
Dun, 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 dun,
It's gonna do the Christmas vacation. I think the song is called Christmas Vacation.
All right. Yeah, that's the name of the song. It's had to get there. Who is it by? This one surprised me.
Diana Ross.
No. I mean, you're kind of like in the right genre
Yeah.
of artist.
Yeah. I can hear her, the woman's voice, and yeah,
That kind of raspy.
yeah, right. I mean, it could almost be Tina Turner if she was
Same genre.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
you're like right there.
You're right there.
You kind of bookended this person.
Yeah. Yeah. I got go.
Mavis
for it.
Staples.
Oh, I would not have gotten that.
No.
No.
Oh man, she's great.
No, wouldn't have
All
got that.
Okay. All right. Number 11. In Die Hard, what floor is the Christmas party held on? Now we all know it's
37th
Nakatomi
floor.
Plaza, but what
37th
floor? 37. You're going 37.
I'm going 37.
Okay.
I don't know why.
30th floor.
It's the 30th.
30th floor. You weren't too far off. You overshot it a little bit. All right. Last question. In Home Alone, how many steps are on the front staircase Kevin slides down?
Like inside the house.
Yep.
When he puts the toboggan up there
Yep.
and rocks it and then takes off.
Yep.
How many
Which,
steps?
We all know there's no way he would have made it out that front door, right? We can all agree to
These
that.
things do not align. They don't align. That is for sure.
The
He would
number
have
of times
smacked
I
the
watched
wall.
that. Did you ever do that as a kid, by the way?
No,
I totally did. We didn't have a
I
toboggan.
don't think I did. I don't think I ever had a second floor.
We shoved a bunch of cardboard in a sleeping bag and then went down the
Okay.
stairs that way. All right.
Yeah,
How many steps are on the staircase that he slides down?
man, I don't know. I'm gonna go with 12.
13. You were so close.
Oh man. Well, at least I didn't overshoot it.
You didn't overshoot it. 13 steps. All right. That concludes our movie trivia. Let's see
That
what
was
your actual
good.
score was. Let's see. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half.
Yep.
5. I'm giving you 5 for Christmas Vacation, so 5.5. You got 5.5 out of 12. You were so close to 50%.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah,
I got.
man.
I would have. Man,
This
okay.
was advanced
tough.
level.
This was tough.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully people played along a little bit as they listened or viewed this, and you had a little fun yourself. That was cool, man. I do like doing some trivia on this show.
Good time.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna probably keep doing that from now and then when we make our content, and it's a good way to engage and have some fun on the show.
And for
So
anyone
it's great.
listening, put that list in your back pocket. Maybe we'll drop the list in the description below in the video here, so you can copy that and save it for when you're out at the bar with your friends this Christmas.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Not to mention that every now and again, when you get to kind of drop a little piece of pop culture knowledge on people, and people jump back like,
Yeah.
oh, look at you. It's good. Yeah. Like when Roy.
That was good. Yeah.
Roy. Yeah, this has been fun. I hope that you guys back there have a great Christmas. Please, give everybody my best. For those that are new subscribers, thank you for being with us and getting to know who we are. Stay tuned for more good content coming in 2026. For all of you that are listening here at Original Firefighter, whether you're in your car, you're at the firehouse, you're working out, however you get your podcasts, we really appreciate you. Hope that you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And as always, from Original Firefighter, be safe.
This has been the Original Firefighter Podcast. Thanks for watching and listening. Tune in each week on Wednesdays for a new episode. Like and follow us on all social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel today.